right, Sam, what's going on, brother? All right, let's get going here. Jason, what's going on? Where's Jared? I don't know. Haven't seen much of Jared today. I think he's in a mood. Is he in a mood today?
I think he is. He's been very quiet.
So.
Might just be able to talk to him.
Yep, it does happen at times. I think he's had a few frustrating clients. But, all right, let's see. All right, John, just so you know, I'm live streaming right now, so just keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
John, what's going on? John Glenn Grau. Jason, love the content. I appreciate that, Jason. How soon will used car prices go up? They've been going up steadily. Love your content. Do you guys get any E450D hybrid in the U.S.? No, unfortunately, we don't get any diesels anymore. Dieselgate and the whole Volkswagen scandal kind of ruined that diesel party for everybody, unfortunately. And Jeff, no, American Express does not get incentives anymore. That program ended at the end of last year, and I do apologize for the confusion. I had to hire an editing team to get some of my life back, and they're going through content that I filmed last year, and so there's a lot of mention of American Express in those videos, but we don't have that anymore. But we do have AAA and Sam's Club, and USAA is back. That's a big one. There's military, of course. These are all different ways to get that same incentive. And they can't be stacked. It's just, multiple different ways to get the same thing. So, Jose, I've got an interview with a dealership tomorrow. What questions do you think I should be prepared for? Well, have you been in car sales before, or will this be your first time in car sales? So if you've been in car sales, they're probably going to ask you about your performance at previous dealers that you've worked at. They're probably going to ask you the generic interview questions, tell me about yourself, strengths, weaknesses, all that fun stuff. No, first time, and when they're premium cars, apparently. Okay. So they might ask you why you think you'd be a good fit for that. And it's hard to say. I mean, every dealership is different the way that they interview. But what I would do is I would start, if I were you, here's a little tip. Start the interview by asking them why they brought you in for an interview. What about your resume did they like to bring you in for the interview? Make them say nice things about you before you have to answer questions. So I'm having a hard time finding a good lease offer for an E350 4MATIC. I used to always lease them, but I don't see them around too much. Yeah, John, those were completely redesigned for model year 2024, and they really have not been heavily incentivized since they were redesigned. So the leases are much better now than they were last year, but I wouldn't say that they're not like the 2023s were when those were about to be replaced. Those were crazy. Yeah, my face is okay. I scratched myself, not unidentified party injury. I'm not entirely sure what I did. So I probably should just put up a poster board behind me saying I'm not sure how I scratched myself, because I've been asked 400 times today. How are the new C63 doing? We sold pretty much all the ones that we had. I mean, they're great cars. Unfortunately, the public decided they hated them because of the engine. So good news for everybody. Mercedes is reversing course, and they will change the engine on that car starting next year, I want to say. Nate, how can I get out of a car that I'm 20K upside down in? If you have to get out of it and replace it, then you got to find a car that can be deeply discounted to eat up that negative. So your best bet is going to be an EV. Stephen, the most incentivized Mercedes-Benz right now would be an EQS sedan. Between the lease cash and the other incentives available, you're well upwards of 20K. Those have off the MSRP before any dealer contribution. Are service costs going up? Yes. Service costs are going up now that parts tariffs are in effect. So keep in mind that there are, when we think about the parts tariffs, everyone's thinking about the parts that go into making these cars. Well, you also got to be thinking about the parts that repair cars. So parts costs are going up, and so overall service costs will start to go up, unfortunately. Why is everybody upside down? Christopher, well, not everyone's upside down, right? Just a lot of the videos that you end up seeing, because those are the ones that are generally more entertaining for people to watch. But adios. A lot of it just has to do with people who bought cars in COVID that they probably didn't need to buy, and now they regret the purchase for one reason or another. Maybe it didn't fit their lifestyle, didn't fit their needs, and now they're trying to replace that. But when you buy at a peak of a market, and then when inflation started to happen, Fed raises the rates, all of a sudden the market goes totally the other way. Cars being a depreciating asset, you bought it really expensively, and then you accelerate the depreciation. Now people have these long-term loans. They're not paying down the car nearly as fast as they're depreciating it, and that's why you've got negative equity. A lot of it's also because people buy cars when they should be leasing, right? You buy a car, you take out a 6 or 7 year finance on it, and then you want a new car after 2 years. Well, you're not going to have nearly paid it down enough to catch up with your, that 2 year initial depreciation hit is all on you, as opposed to being absorbed by the leasing company. I have low credit and a good amount of negative equity. Any advice? Again, your best bet is going to be an EV. You've got to think about this. One, if your credit is rough, then avoid used cars if you can, because what happens is used cars are riskier assets to the banks, which means they're inherently going to have higher interest rates anyway. And they also, used cars are going to have higher interest rates, and they also don't really allow you to absorb negative equity, because the value of the used car is determined by the wholesale value, and that's what the bank is going off of. New car values are determined on the invoice most often, and they don't factor in incentives at all. So if a car has huge incentives, like an EV, for example, then you could argue, well, that's because they don't hold their value well. Well, it doesn't matter. If it's a new car, and it's still going to be the invoice that the bank looks at to determine its value. So if you can discount it well below that and then add back in your negative equity, the bank isn't so afraid of it. But if you've got bad credit, then what I would recommend to you, do you need that sign, Lorena?
Oh, I was here for something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. If you want to sign it.
If you've got rough credit, there's a couple things that you absolutely must prioritize. One, your payment history has to be perfect. You cannot afford to miss payments. You can't afford to be late on payments. As hard as that might, if you're struggling, still find a way to make your minimum payments, because as soon as you start missing payments, that is when not only will your credit score suffer, but you'll be unable to get new loans, because you're demonstrating to the bank that you have a history of not repaying your debt. Even if you can repay it at the minimum level, then you're still demonstrating that you can make that monthly payment every month. So a lot of the people that we see struggling with bad credit are just missing payments or late on payments all the time. Another thing, this is really silly, and I hate to see this, I really truly do. If you have a collection, if you have a bill that you disagree with, maybe it's a cable bill or a phone bill or a small medical bill, you can disagree with it all you want, but that bill is there, and if you do not pay it, it will go to collections. And I see a lot of people do this on principle, like some of the most trivial bills, $30 to $100 that they refuse to pay because they disagree with it. Well, that will follow your credit for the next 7 to 8 years and will prevent you from being able to borrow money. So, you can disagree with it all you want, but I would highly recommend that you suck it up and you pay it, because if you let that go to collections, that is a really massive hit on your credit that will follow you for a very long time. Jeffrey, I lay $746 a month, and I think that money could be going towards a nicer car. I don't know what you drive, but you're not alone. A lot of people think that there's a better car that they could get for the money. Let's see, Mark, love your channel, worked in business for many years. I'll always say it was the best education I got, moving forward in a completely different direction. Yeah, that's awesome, Mark. So you've been in construction for the last 30 years. Yeah, the automotive industry is a great industry, and a lot of people gave it a shot and maybe didn't stick it out, but it definitely will teach you a lot of life lessons, that's for sure. Are you guys hiring social media people? Not necessarily. I really would like to. I wish desperately that I had like a camera person and an editor, but we're not specifically hiring for that right now. Not an editor, I'm sorry, like an assistant just to help me with social media related things. Any word on the E53 wagon? We know it's happening. It is going to happen, and hope to see it by the end of this year. They are saying it'll be a 2026 model year.
It's already in the configuration guide.
Yeah, it's in the configuration guide. They haven't been allocated yet, but we do expect to see that this year. Do you have S-classes in stock? Yeah, we do have a couple, but Mercedes tends to alternate between heavy production years of S-Class and low production years, and this is definitely a low production year. We've got a very small inventory of S-Classes compared to what we had in 2014, or 2024, I should say. Thoughts on the CLK 550? I love the CLK. CLK was the very first Mercedes that I ever got to drive, and is what made me fall in love with the brand. So I have a very soft spot for CLKs. Absolutely gorgeous cars. USA is showing 24-month leases with $7,500 lease bonus cash on the GLC and GLE plug-in hybrids. What's your opinion of this offer? Yeah, so the plug-in hybrids are going to get that $7,500 lease cash, and Mercedes-Benz has juiced up the residuals a bit on the 24-month term so that those become more attractive. So, I think that those are leasing out pretty well. You can stretch out the term. You can do 3 years or 4 years, and that will lease out a little bit lower, but again, the 24-month term, 24 months terms generally are really, really expensive, but these ones are pretty incentivized. So our best deal today, I don't know, we've got 6 so far today, a couple of CLE 53s, so those are always good deals. Those are very, very popular. What does the lease look like on an EQB? So it depends on how many miles a year you need and where you live and all that fun stuff, but we just did one earlier today that was I want to say it was like $500 a month with $500 at signing, so just first payment at signing. So the amount of car that you're getting for the money, it's silly, truly. Enjoy your knowledge and voice. Interested in when the deal is made. Maria, thank you. I do appreciate that. Just for anybody who's in here who does watch my videos and likes the videos, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Just a little point. I know a lot of you often want to be able to see how things end, and I do wish that I had a better way to show you that. It just kind of doesn't really. It becomes very difficult because a lot of our interactions that are, from the point that a deal starts to the point the deal is made can be many, many different conversations and interactions, and to, condense that down into one video, sometimes it can happen over a couple of days. And so for my kind of behind the scenes videos where I'm sitting at my desk, I like to tell people, think of it more like a behind the scenes, like how a movie is made, not the movie itself, right? So it's like you're watching the show about how the movie was made, so to speak. But if I'm a Denali driver, what Benz model is comparable? So that would be, I'm guessing you're talking about the Yukon, so that would be the GLS 450. Is the E450 wagon nice in my opinion? Alex, absolutely it is. The new E450 wagon is phenomenal. It is one of the best cars Mercedes has done in several years. I drove one for a little while when we sold out of EQSs, and we actually just sold out of EQS SUVs again. So, I'll got to figure out what to drive again, but the E-Wagon might be a contender for that. So, thank you for everyone who is following and subscribed, by the way. I do appreciate it. If you're not following already, I would love and appreciate a follow. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube and you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that as well. And also for everyone hitting the like button. I know that's annoying, but to keep tapping the screen or hitting the buttons, but I appreciate it because when you do that, it puts me in front of more people, and then we get to have more fun, do more videos, answer more questions. John, do local MB dealers cause issues if you sell cars in their area? No. I mean, some dealers may not love it, obviously, but it doesn't really cause issues so much. What's your major selling points for Mercedes over BMW? Ryan, I don't have a selling point for Mercedes over BMW. What I tell people is that they're both really great cars. They just kind of have different vibes. Mercedes tends to be a little bit more luxurious. BMW tends to be a little bit more of a driver car, a little sportier. So there's no right or wrong answer. They're both amazing choices. It just comes down to personal preference. And that's the thing about cars in general, is that they're totally subjective. Some people like one brand versus another, and you really can't say that one's better than the other. It just depends on what you like better. So some people like the styling of one brand versus another. Some like the way the interior looks. Some like the technology better. It comes down to you, but you can't go wrong with either. So, is there a story to the picture on the right wall? So the picture right above me, is that what you're asking about? That picture is just a gift that my wife got me for my birthday a few years ago. It's the photographer, his name is Slim Aarons. He just took pictures of people hanging out at their houses and at the beach and at the pool, and just kind of random. But you've all seen stuff of his before. If you Google it, his name, I'm sure you've seen his stuff before. But it's just a random picture. I don't know who's in it, anything like that. I want that demo convertible with red interior that you have. Yeah, that's a really nice one. In fact, that car just became demo eligible to be sold like 2 days ago. So I think we just got that one on the website. One thing that's really cool for you all, if you all don't know this, if you go to our website, which if you go to the link in my link tree, you can get to our dealership website. We put all of our prices front and center. We give everyone our best price up front. And if you click into our inventory and then you click explore payments, you can get right into our online express store where everything is, all of our prices are loaded in there, so you can work your own deals, you can configure leases, and it's not, you don't even have to call us, frankly. Obviously we'd love to talk to you, but we give you access to all that information, and you'll want to, it's going to default to us here in Cleveland, Ohio, and North Olmsted, Ohio. So if you want to get it, the taxes and the fees accurate to where you live, then you'll have to put in your zip code and et cetera. But we give you the freedom to go onto our website and to play around and price out the cars, so you can see exactly what they're going to cost. Right? It's not, you don't have to call us to figure out what the actual cost of the car is going to be. David, hi Doug, glad I saw you live. Thanks again for sending me the extended warranty information. I pick up my new G-Wagon this week en route to the dealership. Congratulations, David. That's very exciting. Happy for you. And I hope that it makes it to you with no delays, and excited for you to get your hands on it. Ralph is the sales manager for Key in Scotland. Love watching your videos. I appreciate you watching, Ralph. That's awesome. That is awesome. And thank you for watching all the way from Scotland. Alex, Cash Deals, I assume you will put me on a template to pay DMV in my state. So Alex, we can do it one of two ways. We will happily title and register your car for you. That's a service that we provide to all of our clients. If you would rather handle it yourself and you live in a non-reciprocal state with Ohio, then you can collect, or we don't have to collect your taxes and title and fees, and you can handle that on your own. We try to save everyone a trip to the BMV if we can. But, and that's where our partnership with Dealer DMV comes in. They are the pros at helping us to get our out-of-state deals registered and making sure we got all of our T's crossed and our I's dotted. So just scratch on my face, couldn't get it to stop bleeding. So how is EQE sedan demo shipping to Texas? EQE sedan demo, look, we'll ship anywhere in the country. Our deals are going to be the same no matter where you live. The only thing you got to factor in is the cost of shipping it, and we will arrange that for you at wholesale cost. We don't mark up shipping. Jared, what's going on? Still loving our EQS. It's absolutely amazing. I love that. And I will tell Don hello. We are EQS brothers for sure. And it's funny that Jared just reaches out because somebody from Texas just asked about an EQ. We have maybe done more business with Texas since we started doing these social media videos. We have had so many clients from Texas. It's actually been crazy. It's been hard to wrap my head around. But apparently we have a lot of people. So I don't know if the dealers are difficult to work with in Texas or if my videos are just circulating a lot down there. I don't know. But we have done a lot of business with folks down in Texas. So Karen's watching from Chesterton, Indiana, and I watch often. I appreciate you, Karen. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot, especially if you are watching on repeat. That's amazing.
Hi.
What's going on?
Is Decorates on the log?
I
I don't know which other one is on there. I know we have meets a group now, but
it's not on the log.
okay. Well, they want that blue one that just came in.
It's here?
Yeah, it's here.
All right.
She said they're trying to figure out the schedule to board it, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
They're trying to figure out the scheduling. I'm having Jess work on the deal. I mean, I don't know if you started it or not, but.
No, it's not. I didn't load it or anything like that. So,
Okay.
yeah, we want to get her up to speed as best we can. So every deal,
Okay.
I would take to her to at least.
Practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's already getting the hang of it. But the more reps that she can get, the better.
That's what she was saying. She's saying her training videos aren't helping. She said it's all backwards and.
No, the training videos. This is just something that you learn by doing
Yeah.
repetitively.
Okay.
So,
The C-class demo.
All right. Well.
you know, I can do it in my sleep. So if she's not here, obviously bring him to me. But just let's have her.
Do as much as possible.
Yeah, and then I'll double check everything.
Okay. I don't remember the stock number, but.
Don't worry about that. I know. I remember which one it is.
All right. Awesome.
So.
God, some of us came to work today. I love it. Let's go.
Wow.
I.
Both of my deals were already on the log from last quarter. They were last month.
It's okay. Still counts.
All right, so I got an updated deal for Lorena real quick. She never wants to come in here. She just wants to message me. Do the clips ever fall off your tie? Sam, I'm offended that you would think I'd wear a clip on.
Is my GLS good or no? Please. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Douglas.
Hearts.
I have
Hearts.
not heard.
Get out of here. Oh.
Hearts.
Should we reach out to Maryland?
What's that?
Should we reach out to Hagerstown?
Go ahead. Cool.
Um,
So you're on.
Or would you rather
just
possibly handle
whatever. Just no. Let me get in touch with him. So Colin can't physically do anything if something is left undone. No, everyone knows this. If there is a dealer trade that's not done or a deal's not loaded, he is unable to move forward mentally
It's okay.
with anything else.
I can be like that.
And that's okay. I get it. But that's what makes him
And now
so
that you mention
detail
my name,
oriented.
they're gonna flood the comments with positivity. Oh, we love him. Did he
I know,
beat
what about
Jared?
me? Don't forget
All
me.
this good stuff.
Can you list a CPO? If it's a former loaner, then yes. That is a cheat code I've talked about in several videos. If you need, you can't lease like like an older used car, but if you need the unlimited mileage CPO warranty, then you can have it certified and lease it, which is for high mileage drivers the best thing that you can do is lease a former demo and CPO it.
Oh, here comes Mitch.
Can I buy just an AMG chassis? I don't know, maybe from somewhere. Maybe from moving merch, baby. 290K upside down, 70 months left, 430 credit. What do I do? I don't doubt if he actually had somebody call in that was $270,000 upside down on a Ferrari, probably.
Yeah. something
Well,
like
no,
that.
he had the guy in that. I remember the video from 2 weeks ago. That's Alex, right?
Yeah, Alex.
He had that Challenger video, which was hilarious. That had like 120,000 miles on it, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex, you have. I mean, we've had some pretty epic negative equity situations here, but you've had a few that are just hard to wrap my head around. Some of those Ferrari negative equity situations are just absolutely out of control. When is Mercedes updating the EVs to the new charging ports? Those will be next year. So a lot of the major changes are going to come next year. The EVs will be completely restyled. They'll drop the EQ. They won't be EQs anymore. They're going to go more to BMW's model of just making electrified versions of the ICE cars. So yeah, I mean they should have done that from the very beginning. But you know what?
Yeah, they should have.
Credit to them
Sorry.
for listening to their clients and listening to the feedback. Now, I will tell you that everything that Mercedes-Benz does, and I know this for a fact, that everything they do, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense on its face, they have a very specific reason for doing it. And the reason that the EQs were designed to look the way they do now was because they were going for ultimate efficiency. And those cars have the lowest drag coefficients of any cars in the world, which helps them to get more range. And I will tell you that compared to pretty much, with the exception of maybe the Lucid, there really aren't any electric cars out there that get better range than the EQSs, for example.
Well, the Escalade IQ gets like 500 plus now.
Well, but that just came out.
Yeah.
I'm talking, the EQS has been out for 4 years now,
Yeah.
right? And
They
I'm
get really good range.
450 miles of range on a full charge in the summertime. So that was the reason that they kind of look like eggs or whatever you want to call them. Honestly, the styling has kind of grown on me over the years. I'm used to it. But I won't mind if it looks like a GLS or an S-Class, whatever. That'll be cool. Sorry, Barry, do you need something? You're just hanging out.
It's Michigan.
It's gonna be
Some-
$600, $700, depending on where in Michigan. Where in Michigan?
Ledge, something.
Do you have that link?
That was helpful.
Steve sent out?
Can't have that, sorry. I got it.
I could have helped you.
Between $600 and $800.
Okay, I'm on it.
Karen, I was driving an EQS 450 SUV until 30 minutes ago when one of my sales consultants very disrespectfully sold it.
And left the key over here.
Yeah.
So now he's
No,
driving
just
a bright
kidding.
green GLS?
So
Yeah,
he's
so now I'm
driving an
gonna drive a
Ireland green
GLS.
GLS. 580.
Audi A6 e-tron is the most well-developed electric car in drag coefficient. Okay, so maybe that's the newest best one. But
I like the Lucid though.
yeah, my husband is 6'10". Whoa! And
Jesus.
cars are hard to find that fit him comfortably because of the center console designs. What do you recommend for super tall drivers? That's a tough one.
An F-150 with a bench seat.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, the EVs, they have basically, there's no, drive tunnel, there's no drive tube, so you've got kind of a floating cup holder, but then you've got an empty space below it, so he probably stretch his legs out that way. What's up?
This one that you located
Yeah,
was which dealership? Westchester?
I think Pennsylvania, yeah.
I went on their website and the car's not on the website, like at all.
Okay.
Did you type it in the VII just to see if it was dealer traded or sold? Or?
No, I didn't do that because the guy wants photos of the car, and I was gonna steal some, but you know.
Well, what's the VIN end in? What are the last, here, let me see. I'm live, everyone was asking about you, wondering where you were. You've been,
I was at CPO, dude, with this craziest situation ever.
I figured you must be doing something interesting.
It was ludicrous.
Oh crap, this car was dealer traded today.
So that explains why I couldn't find it.
Yep, so they probably have it sold.
So can we find someone like this?
This guy's too specific. Alpine Gray just is generally going to have black interior, that's the problem.
Well, I think everyone hates Bahia Brown because I've not seen a Bahia Brown in 3 years.
It's a great interior, but beige and black are just more popular.
Can we find a comparable build?
I've looked, buddy, there really aren't many. That's the problem. That is the problem. So I will take another stab at it. Oh, hold up, I gotta update this for... Alright, so... Just added the $4,000 business owner incentive for the S-Class for Lorena. Oh, wait a minute. No, I copied you on that email. There's that car that's produced not shipped that has Bahia Brown. That's available. It's more expensive, but it's the only one.
Can you print me that build sheet? What?
I need your keys, sir.
My keys?
Yeah. Thank you.
How long have you been selling cars? For almost 15 years. Hard to believe.
Yeah, and none of the grades showing.
No, it's there. It's there. Are there any more G550s coming in? Every G550 that we have coming in right now is a custom build, so it's pre-sold. Now, of course, there's deals that will fall through from time to time.
How about I put paid partnership?
Huh?
Paid partnership on a reel.
With who?
It's gonna be with iPad, get that.
You've got to go to scroll down, more options, and wait. What?
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
What the heck?
I know.
What is going on here?
I was talking to Savannah.
Hold up. Let me see.
I'm just using that as a generic reel.
Just for the purposes of...
Testing, yeah.
Okay, hold up. might have to check your settings. I feel like you've got something turned off.
Let me see.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Oh no, Mercedes leaseman has been injured on his face. Yes, I have. So sorry about that. Angel, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Massive fan from the UK. What time is it in Ohio right now? Love you are in Jared's skits. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It is 6 o'clock. The skits are, I think they're fun. They're a little bit of a change of pace. We constantly, or at least I do, constantly get accused of jumping the shark. But, you know, we can't be serious all the time, right? We got to have a little fun.
Not Jared.
Jared's not serious ever, but I'm mostly serious, right?
No, I can be very serious. Just like
When you source a vehicle from another Mercedes-Benz dealer, do you pay a charge or fee to the origin dealer? No, we just pay to get it here to the store.
it says I have to enable branded content.
Oh no, did one of your, yes, Jared did this to me actually. He got mad at me.
We're fighting over an internet lead. A lot
So-
of people want me to do the Borat accent, but
What models are not selling or struggling to move at the moment?
Was it this perhaps? Is it ad preference?
I would say that right now we have pretty well balanced incentives across the board, so everything's moving at a pretty good clip. I would say the only thing that is maybe slow is S-Class, but that's only because we don't really have any. I'm planning to do a thorough inspection of my G550 when it arrives this week, but in your experience, is there anything I should focus on during delivery? I mean, David, you know, always just check the car over because every now and then there's some transport damage that happens, but I would say that you shouldn't expect there to be any issues with a new car that comes in.
She was saying something about branded content.
Yeah, I'm not.
Trying to buy a Challenger. Sure.
What's up?
I was just reading comments, that's all.
Oh.
Ceramic coating and wrap, yeah, for sure. Hello, Jared. Hello. See what I mean? That's what I thought too.
I don't know, man. You might have to Google it.
What do you think of 2016 SLK? Oh, those are cool convertibles. Well, Savannah Googled it for me. This is
That's really weird. I've never.
enable branded tools.
Oh, hold up. Oh, there we go. Enable.
Oh, son of a bitch. Really?
There you go.
Oh, look at
All right.
that.
Is it a good idea to wrap a new car? It depends on what kind of car it is.
How did you do that?
Certainly not required for everything. So we found many Diamond G-Wagons, and unfortunately, I just put out a little video about this, but the client that contacted us has fallen off the face of the earth. He's gone totally zero dark 30 on us, which,
Ooh.
when was the last time you spoke with George? I spoke to him briefly yesterday, but he's been out of the country, been traveling. So yeah, kind of a bummer because we put a lot of work into it and we talked to a lot of people, and then now we, even if he didn't want to move forward with it, it would be nice to hear that. But we just are not. I mean, have you heard from him?
no.
Yeah.
I texted him so much that I thought it was too much.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the good news is that power of social media prevailed. I mean, we had a lot of people. First of all, I want to say, if you were one of the people that was helping to find one and source one, thank you. And I'm absolutely amazed by how many we were able to track down. I mean, that right there was proof of how powerful the reach of social media is. I'm bummed that we kind of hit like a impasse, but it was super cool to know that if we ever had a unique requests like that in the future where we're trying to find something for somebody, that I'm confident that with the help of all of you that we'll be able to do it. So,
Can you print that GLE?
didn't I? No? Did-
Oh, I remember.
So, what's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Eric, hello. Do you recommend buying a car or leasing one, and what are the pros and cons of each? So, Eric, if my content largely focuses. I mean, first of all, if you're buying a used car, right, you've got to buy it. Okay. If you're looking at a new car, my recommendation is always to lease. You can make the argument with a few brands and a few cars to purchase it. I'll say this: if you keep cars for 6 years or longer, then buy. Okay. If you keep cars for less than 6 years, you should be leasing. That's my belief. So, and that's, again, just to give you more flexibility and to protect yourself from downside risk. That's really what it is. When you buy a car, whatever happens to the value of that car, whatever happens to the market, you own that entirely. Benzes and bandages. Nice. I like it. I like it. That's good. Tell us about the footballs. Yeah, they're just some signed footballs. That one behind me, the brown one is signed by Brian Brennan, and the white one back there is Jim Tressel and Archie Griffin of the Buckeyes. So, I have a 22 GLB, 20K miles, $34,000 balance, Benz Financial, so obviously I have negative equity. What are some options to get into a nicer SUV? So again, if you can find a demo vehicle will help. Oh, Kiana, thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you for everyone who's hanging out today, and any new followers. I appreciate that. If you're not following already, please do follow and subscribe. Appreciate everyone very much for hanging. And I apologize that there are a lot of questions coming in, and I try to get to as many as I can. But Sensei, thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. Welcome. Maybe you have your sales contact. Yeah, so anybody that wants to, if you want to work with us, just go right to my, go to the link in my bio, in my link tree, and then right on there is going to be a work with the team, work with Doug Horner and the team. Just go to our website, just put your information in there, and we will be in touch. So that is the best way to get in touch with us, because then I have my entire team behind me that can help keep everything straight. If, when you reach out to me through DMs, I am really focusing on trying to get better about that, but it is hard to keep up with all of them and do this and do, my duties here at the dealership. It's just a lot. So, but Zach, what is the difference when an AMG model has an S in it? Just means that it's probably tuned up. It's going to be the highest level of output available. So it's going to be, the most horsepower, basically the highest that you can go in that model family. Janine, what's going on? What brands give Mercedes-Benz discounts on one Sam's Club? So there's also AAA if you're a member of AAA, Sam's Club if you're a USAA member, if you're military, if you're a Morgan Stanley Reserved member. These are all partnership programs that would get you these discounts. Navy Federal Credit Union members. What else do we have? So those are like, and any of the, doctor, professional organizations, doctor, lawyer, so ABA, AMA, ADA, AICPA, and I think that covers all of those. And then there are a ton of companies. Trust me, if you ever have a question about whether or not the company that you work for is a fleet partner of Mercedes-Benz, please feel free to ask. Almost every Fortune 500 company's on that list. There are thousands of companies on that list. And if you are a business owner, right? So if you have a corporation or an LLC, the only thing that would not qualify is if you're a sole proprietor. But if you have a business, if you have an LLC that is more than a year old and you're purchasing, so this incentive cannot be used on leases, only on purchases, but business owners qualify for incentives on a lot of models as well. So is the glass bulletproof on a Maybach GLS 600? No. What is the first thing you decide on when you're building a Benz for your business? I kind of go down the list. You color, interior, trim, wheels, and then you go through the options. What time do you leave work? We're open until 7 o'clock on Monday through Thursday. So Maybe I missed the answer. Does the business incentive apply to LLC and multi-member S Corp? Yes. So Andrew, we just need to verify that you link to the business, either your articles of incorporation or on the state's business search. We need to be able to show that you are the registered agent for the business. So, ever heard of Tom Naquin Cadillac? I can't say that I have. Can you ever pick up your car in Germany or Alabama from the factory tour after? So you used to be able to do that in Germany. That was called the European Delivery Program. That was discontinued during COVID, unfortunately, so we don't have that program anymore. So there weren't a ton of people that did it. So I think Mercedes, just when COVID was going on, decided that maybe it doesn't make sense to continue that program. So, which Raw, if you look at James, we are at Mercedes-Benz of North Olmsted. But anyway, I appreciate everyone hanging out this afternoon. I really do. I'm going to hop off now so we can get the day wrapped up. We've had a busy day. We've got 7 new cars on the sold log so far today. Have to check in with the used car team. And by the way, one little point here. I have a video that will be coming out in just a little bit. We are on a mission. Our used car department needs to add 60 used cars. So we are going to go on a buying spree. So if you have a car that you don't need or you want to sell it, we want to buy it. So, go to the link in my bio, sell us your car, put your information in, then we'll be in touch. We'll make you a really great offer on your car. Or trade it, sell, trade, whatever. The number is going to be the same. We don't play games. So if we give you a number on your car, it's going to be one shot. Everything that we do is we aim to be really quick, efficient, make the most use of your time, be respectful of your time. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, we part ways as friends. But we want to buy your car. So if you have one that you don't need or you're looking to sell, give us a shot, right? We'd love to buy it from you. So, and we'll have some fun with it. We'll document our progress and make some videos out of it and have some fun with it. So, but anyway, I really do appreciate the support. Thank you to everybody who hung out this afternoon. Please make sure you're liking and following all the videos when they come out. That means the world to me. And just, if you're in the area, say hi. If you want to work with us, please do. But I just appreciate every one of you very, very much. So thank you for coming to hang out. And until